Okay, let's talk about sitemaps for a little bit. So a sitemap, as I mentioned in a previous lesson, is just a file that tells Google all the pages on your website that it needs to index. By getting your pages indexed, they start showing up in Google search results. Search Console under the Index tab has a nice little icon and report for sitemap. So click on that sitemaps report, and you'll be taken to a screen like this. This is where you would enter the URL for your sitemap. So if you're wondering, do I even have a sitemap? What does my sitemap look like? If you're using WordPress and the Yoast SEO plugin automatically generate a sitemap for you. So if you have that set up, it's really easy. You just go to whatever your domain is, /sitemap_index.xml. And that's an automatically generated sitemap by Yoast. And that's an SEO plugin that I use for most of my WordPress sites. So we just take that URL, we drop that URL in here, and then we would submit our sitemap. Now, if you're not using WordPress or you don't have the Yoast SEO plugin installed, there's very similar plugins for Squarespace and other websites that will automatically generate a sitemap for you and submit it to Google Search Console. The nice thing about this report is it shows you the sitemap URL and also the number of discovered URLs within that sitemap. If you don't have a sitemap yet, there's great tutorials out there to helping you get one depending on your specific website setup. And I can include some additional instructions and tutorials for Squarespace and some other of the most popular CMSs. So no matter what you're using, getting a sitemap is the fastest way to getting pages indexed in Google. One other piece of sitemaps that we should cover in this lesson is inspecting a URL. So let's say, for example, that you've added a new page to your website. Let's say that my new page is backcourtpickleball.com/contact us. Now, once you've added that page to your website, you want to get it added to your sitemap as quickly as possible so you can start showing up in Google. So when I inspect that URL with the Google Search Console inspection tool, it tells me everything that it knows about that page, whether or not it's been discovered or crawled or indexed. Because I made up that URL and it hasn't been indexed, what I can do in here is I can actually request that page is indexed, and then it will automatically be added to my sitemap. So the nice thing about that is it makes it really easy to add pages to your sitemap to be indexed as soon as they're added to your website so that you can start getting traffic to those pages.